Duigamala goes. Duigamala over the 22. Duigamala all the way.
Duigamala, his strength, his power. To Duigamala, he's got a little space on the outside. Oh, well taken by Duigamala, he's driving it down, and that's a try! Oh, and the interception by Duigamala, he's got 50 metres to go.
By Iga Tuigamala, Inga the winger, now Inga the centre. In what has been an amazing yet short rugby league career, this ex-All Black sensation has, like his playing style, tackled the game of rugby league head-on. But it's not all rugby for Inga.
I would say my first priority is in life is to serve God in an obedient way. Secondly is my family. Thirdly is friends in my social life. And fourth is rugby league, believe it or not.
It's been a time of change for the Kiwi since switching codes. His home, his teammates, and even his shape and weight have had to change.
17.5 the score. Yeah? Super. Okay. Wow. Watch out, Matt Tyson. I'm coming to get you.
It won't be Mike Tyson, but the Warrington team that will be trying to contain the New Zealand's explosive power and strength this afternoon.
Those legs driving like pistons.
You know, I came in, you can almost say that I've come into to a lion's den where I've had to virtually start from scratch. I've had to learn the game. When people used to say to me that league and union are very similar games, well, I found the hard way. You know, I came here with a relatively pointy nose, and over the last 12 months, it's spread quite rapidly across my face. But I soon learned, and if that's the way to learn the game, then fine with me. I'm doing it to plan my theology. Me and my wife are doing it for future involvements in maybe missionary works that God has called us to. So, apart from rugby league and family and my social life, I've also got to do this, which does give me a lot of peace and a lot of comfort to, I suppose, live life to the maximum.
One of 14, it's Inga's family and a strong Christian belief that have helped him adopt to a new way of life.
Good boy, Baba.
Make you strong, Bob.
Yeah, make you strong.
If it wasn't for my family being here with me when I arrived at first, I think I wouldn't have made the transition as quick as I've done now.
It's amazing what you can learn about a person just by looking in the library.
I love fishing. If there's one sport that I'm good at, it's fishing. Nah, joking. Only joking. No, what I had to do.
Tuigamala has emerged as a key element in Wigan's championship side. A win today would see him gain a full set of domestic medals, and that's no mean feat in just 12 months.
I remember being at Henley when we lost to Castlewood, and it wasn't a good feeling afterwards. So the guys will hold that into to account, and they'll go out there, and hopefully we can do play to the best of our ability and do what's right for the team.
If I was to ask Inga the winger regrets from changing from rugby union to rugby league, would there be any there?
No, I have no regrets.
Anyone who trusts in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
He's got a little space on the outside. Oh, well taken by Tuigamala, he's driving it down, and that's a try! Oh, that's a superb try by the giant All Black.
4 wins, the most recent being in 1991, is Warrington's Regal trophy record. And en route to what is their 8th final appearance, 3 Welsh Dragons have more than played their part.
Big match for me, my first Regal Trophy final. Hope it all goes well for me.
And Harris, the Welshman, is in for a try at the corner. It could be dangerous. Oh, beautiful ball from Mackey, and Alan Bateman's in for the try.
Just back from injury, and if selected, hopefully I can do the business.
And a difficult kick for Davis, but a successful one.
another day at the office and maybe some silverware as a bonus. Who knows?
Jonathan Davis, Alan Bateman and Iestyn Harris continue an established Welsh connection.
Well, the Welsh, of course, have a great history and great tradition here at Wilderspool, and it's no coincidence that when they are here in a presence, we have great success, and no more than in the early to mid-70s when the likes of Mike Nicholas and Bobby Wombon and the legendary John Bevan were at the peak of their form. Warrington Rugby League Club had great success. What makes them come north? Well, I think you're going to have to ask them.
Witness got rid of me.
Roland Phillips and Kevin Ellis kidnapped me.
My dad brought me.
And good coaching.
Quality coaching from a Welshman that happens to be the Warrington assistant coach and the Welsh national coach, and that's useful.
Oh, definitely. You know, we can talk about things every week, sort of every day, and I've got Jonathan Davis here, the Welsh captain, which is immense help. You know, both during the week and then when we're in camp as a Welsh unit.
Harris comes in then very, very carefully. Oh, he strikes it well. It's a good one, right between the uprights.
An 18-year-old Iestyn Harris looks like a chip off the block. Like Davis, he scores tries and kicks goals.
I usually kick with him. We go to practice together, and I do learn a lot from each other. He teaches me a lot on his style, and he gets tips off me as well as Clive Griffiths comes out with us as well. He helps us as well.
I don't miss on telly. Pressure's on him now. You know, kicking is a thankless job. As you know, Fran Botti, I will tell you, if you kick him, you're a hero. If you miss him, you're the villain. But it's nice to have a bit of competition off Iestyn and keep me on my toes. And if I get injured or lack of form, I know he's there to back me up.
So can the Wire beat the mighty Wigan? The spotlight always falls on Jonathan Davis, but Warrington aren't a one-man band.
There are a number of other players that are capable of winning matches, including Iestyn Harris and Kelly Shelford. Greg Mackey obviously is very important to us, and as is our standoff Francis Mullaney, and indeed in the centres Alan Bateman. On top of that, of course, and we have the forwards who have to do their job.
There's a generous price for a Warrington success. The bookmakers expect Wigan to win, of course, but getting out of jail in earlier rounds against Keighley and Salford has given Warrington great confidence.
Might be an omen, that our name's on the cup, but Wigan will have something to say about that. But I'm sure that they've always been good games against Warrington and Wigan, so hopefully this will be the same.
Ray Stubbs with Warrington, and what an exciting venue for this afternoon's final. The Alfred McAlpine Stadium, one of a new generation of important new British sporting arenas. Huddersfield is the backdrop, and Warrington against Wigan is the Regal Trophy final. Our commentators Richard Duckenfield, Steve Sims, Terry Flanagan and Ray French.
The George Hotel, the birthplace of rugby league 100 years ago, tucked in there under a blanket of snow. But here, a couple of miles away, the future of rugby league, the Sir Alfred McAlpine Stadium, home to Huddersfield Rugby League and Huddersfield Soccer and the Regal Trophy final. At the semi-final stage, Warrington ran out comfortable winners at Norton Park, but the 34-6 scoreline at Central Park hardly reflects the battle put up by Castleford. 3 modern grandstands, complete with hospitality suites and banqueting suites, everyone safely under cover, away from the weather, and a capacity 19,000 crowd expected here for the kick-off. Many youngsters as ever. Warrington fans there, they breed them early there at Wilderspool. Always here for a big rugby league occasion. Both sets of fans mixing together and in very, very good spirits.
At 5, Rob Myler. At 6, Francis Maloney.
And snow chaos in Yorkshire, over 14 inches in the past few days. And this was the situation at 5 o'clock last night. But a band of willing helpers and the underground heating has got this pitch firm and fine for the match. Richard Duckingfield spoke to both coaches a little earlier. Wigan's Graham West, Warrington's Brian Johnson, and both held each other and their teams in the highest respect.
I think the first part, that they do the basics properly, is the strong point of the side. You know, they don't make errors. They don't try and do things that they're not capable of doing. They get out there and they're solid right from the word go, without trying to be flash. You know, people think that they're just a brilliant side, but their mainstay is that they do their basics correctly.
We've always had trouble beating Warrington. The New Year's Day game where we beat them by a few points, I don't take into account, because they've always come to Wigan and give us a good run for our money.
Wigan would start favourite in every game they play, probably anywhere in the world. But that doesn't decide who wins the game. It's what happens out on the pitch.
If you don't go out and play well, you don't win. And that's our main aim today, is we want to go out, we want to defend well, and we want to play the sexy out and play well. That's it.
Warrington coach Brian Johnson will no doubt remember his appearance at full-back in that 1987 final 18-4 defeat by Wigan. But Wigan, well, Warrington, Widnes, Halifax and Bradford Northern have all tasted defeat against Wigan in recent finals. Only Castleford denting the Lancashire club's proud record in '94. I'm afraid the past history of the Regal Trophy tells a sorry tale for Warrington, and that last meeting between the clubs resulting in a fourth-round defeat by 27 points to 10. It's a long, hard road to the final. Nowhere was it harder for Warrington than at Cougar Park, Keighley. A last-minute Jonathan Davis try, seeing them through to the semi-final. Wigan only had to leave their home at Central Park once, the trip to the Boulevard, providing them with a comfortable 38-14 win over Hull. Both sides renowned for attacking potential, especially on the wings. Here Shelford setting up a try, eventually for Wyre's wing Mark Foster. 14 seasons in the game, and here enjoying one of his best seasons and best tries. Mark Foster. But they don't come any better than the incomparable Martin O'Fire at Wigan. Here, Jason Robinson and the young Kiwi Henry Paul, good work in midfield, moving the ball across to the deadly finisher. And here, speed, balance and control at the end of a majestic effort. Martin O'Fire. Fireworks and music greeting the entrance very shortly of the two sides. And Sean Edwards, a late inclusion in the team. Warrington's Jonathan Davis, the man with the ability to strike at any moment. Greg Mackey, the little Australian skipper. Iestyn Harris, Paul Derbyshire, Chuck Barlow from Waikato in New Zealand, and good support from Warrington. Kelly Shelford, the playmaker in midfield. Clive Griffiths, the Welsh assistant coach, and Warrington assistant coach. And homage being paid by the Wyres fans. Injuries have dominated the team news this week. Warrington coach Brian Johnson gambles in the centre with Welsh international Alan Bateman. He plays his first match since Boxing Day after suffering a hamstring problem. That will be a gamble. Powerful standoff Francis Maloney. He's recovered from a dead leg. He limped out of the semi-final, but he's back to partner skipper Greg Mackey at half-back. And as we mentioned, that shock return to the Wigan team of skipper Sean Edwards. 48 hours ago, ruled out with a hamstring injury. He declared himself fit on Friday, passed a fitness test this morning, and he wears the number 7 jersey. His injured international teammate Andy Farrell, however, he's not made the squad, and Mick Cassidy, for the Great Britain second row, will deputise in the pack. Two very, very strong sides. The pitch, thanks to the underground heating, in perfect condition, and Sean Edwards there appearing in his 7th trophy final, and Greg Mackey, Warrington's Australian halfback, in his first trophy final. But still two very experienced halfbacks. And another man taking charge of his first Regal Trophy final will be the referee, Stuart Cummings. Substitutes, Aitchison and McDermott for Wigan, Sanderson and Bennett for Warrington. So Stuart Cummings, who jets off to Australia next week to referee in the World Sevens, taking charge of his first final, the Regal Trophy final, 1995, and one, I think, Terry, to whet anybody's appetite.
Yes, a pulsating encounter in store, Ray. Two very good sides, and Wigan, with a hectic schedule of late, be interesting to see how they perform, and Warrington looking forward to a very challenging task today.
So Jonathan Davis starts the pitch very firm underneath. The underground heating really worked the trick. The helpers were shoveling the snow off this morning. It's in good condition, and two sides capable of using it well. Dennis Betts driving in, another player who jets off to Australia for the Sevens next week. Wigan, Steve, they always like to get points on the board early, don't they?
They do, but there's a changeover, a bad kick from Sean Edwards, and Warrington come up with their possession.
Warrington then in possession. It's Paul Derbyshire. And switching play well, Kelly Shelford. They like to move this ball around. Tees. Greg Mackey on the attack with the little chip kick. Oh, it's not forward. Rob Myler's there. Well, not forward.
Yeah, good pressure from Warrington here, and Mackey trying the little chip kick down the blind side, but young Harris, number 4, was knocked the ball forward for Myler. But good pressure from Warrington.
There was two there, two incidents there. Even if it went backwards, it was a double movement.
Wigan, the slightly heavier pack. And it's the Kiwi, Henry Paul, the junior Kiwi, 20 years of age, from the Auckland Warriors, looking for the first winner's medal. And Sean Edwards there with lots of medals, 24 in total in all tournaments. And Mr. Cummings will stand no messing at the play of the ball, lying on into the tackle, interference, and Frano Botica to put the touch.
I think a key factor for Warrington's success today will be their ability to keep the discipline and not give many penalties away. They have at times let themselves down, Steve, and they need to keep it clean.
They have, and that's something that they have to look at very carefully, because you can't afford to give penalties away to a team like Wigan.
Wigan, first attack. Dennis Betts taking it across field, very fast forward. Warrington, very good defence, but can ill afford to give any of these Wigan forwards a gap. Paul, Clark, down for Eastern Suburbs. Oh, speculative pass, but it's picked up by Wigan on this outside. Connolly, he's got Martin to fire. Oh, couldn't take the ball, but that's good covering there by the Kiwi hooker Barlow. He was in the right spot at the right time, Steve.
He was. It was great cover there. I'm not so sure that that mightn't have been play on there. It just looked like it might have come off Martin's knee at the end of it, and if he had regained it, could have been play on.
Well, we commented about the attacking potential of these two sides. There we see Warrington in their own 20-metre area, bringing it away. Good sidestep there from the youngster, Iestyn Harris. Maguire celebrates his 33rd birthday on Tuesday and looking for the first medal. Back to Davis. That's a long kick by Davis. It's a good kick.
Just at this early stage, and it is only early in the game, Warrington seem to be playing the ball a lot quicker than Wigan. It's the slowest I've seen Wigan start a game, especially in the playing the ball area, and they have to smarten that up.
Wigan, the odds-on favourites to win this Regal Trophy, but Warrington very capable of upsetting them. 4 times winners Warrington, twice runners-up. Wigan 6 times winners and in possession. Henry Paul again coming into the standoff position from full-back. Robinson, Twingamala, good pass to a fire. He's got a yard outside, prefers the inside route. Gary Connolly taking advantage there of some slack marking at the play of the ball. Hall, Edwards, Botica switching again to Kelvin Skerritt. Skerritt fresh after a 3-match suspension. Sean Edwards again. To Ingamara. Wigan using him as a battering ram down the sides here.
Good pressure from Wigan here. They're moving the ball nice and tidily and bringing in the likes of Botica with his kicking game.
Oh, Davis making a mistake. Well, was that a forward pass? He looked a forward pass, but I think it's going to be a high tackle by Mark Forster. A head tackle, so this should be a comfortable shot from Frano Botica.
You see, Jonathan, he does everything right. He turns his back towards his goal line, so it's not a knock-on, but Frano Botica's got round well. He's offloaded there to Betts, and it was a high tackle. Maybe it could be to Warrington's advantage. It's only going to be 2 points instead of 6.
I just looked at that, though, Steve, and it seemed to me as if, you know, it almost a forward pass.
Well, it looked forward here, but as we said before, Cummings was on the spot there, but the tackle was high.
No complaints about the high tackle, except perhaps from Dennis Betts. Frano Botica, born of a strong tradition of Kiwis at Wigan. 2 points. Wigan like to get points on the board early. They like to pressure the opposition and then let the opposition make the mistakes. Leading by 2-0.
Ray, just there, it was just something strange. He's kicking the goal for Frano Botica there. 7 of his teammates were back in position on their side of halfway. I know he's the best kicker in the world, but you can always miss kicks. If he hadn't missed the kick or hit the post, Warrington got the ball. I'm sure they could have run 50 or 60 metres with the football then.
Brian Johnson and Peter Hyam, the Warrington chairman, not too perturbed at the moment, I don't think. Very, very early days.
Couple of points, Ray. I don't think Sean Edwards is looking too fit. I think he's holding his leg a little bit.
And a penalty. Offside, again taken by Botica, and very quickly taken by Botica. Perhaps too quick, didn't really have time to settle himself and go for distance. But Kelvin Skerritt going for distance. Sean Edwards, much will depend on him and how that hamstring injury holds up. Botica again, launching to Ingamala. Connolly is out wide. They're stretching this Warrington defence. Connolly still not down. Oh, some sloppy tackling here from Warrington. Finally put down by Kelly Shelford. Hall. Back to a fire, lurking in midfield. Not the best of passes, but picked up by Edwards. Oh, and well out to Cowie. Well, the Warrington defence moving in quickly, but not putting the man down. And it's Phil Clark racing away here to the corner. He's got Jason Robinson to Ingamala, storming towards that line. And to Ingamala. He's in at the corner. I don't think anyone could have stopped the powerhouse. 16.5 stone bulk of the man from Western Samoa. He saw the line, he went for it, and it's his 13th try of the season. Superb effort by Phil Clark.
Yes, there must have been about 20 passes in this sequence, Ray, but Wigan refused to be tackled. Warrington some sloppy tackling, but this man Clark just sets off on a mazy, direct run, and really that caused the incision in the defence. Robinson to Ingamala, and who is going to stop this guy from that range? Super try for Wigan.
I think one of the problems of this, Steve, came from the midfield defence, didn't it?
It was, but what happened? Wigan were getting themselves, they were running around in circles, or they were going nowhere. It took one man to go forward to start running forward. Phil Clark found a hole, offloaded to Jason Robinson, who straight away, good anticipation by Jason, seen Twingamala inside, a great try.
You could tell the way he took that ball under his right arm. There was no way he was passing that or he was being stopped. But Frano Botica, again. You mentioned Kiwis. Graham West himself a Kiwi. Brian Nordgren, Cess Mountford. from this man, Botica. Oh, it's in off the upright. Stroked it beautifully. Steve Sims was saying his teammates went back to line up. They were so confident of the kick. One might well be with accuracy like that and a little luck. Warrington 0, Wigan 8. And Warrington in trouble, Terry.
Yes, Phil Clark made the incisive run. Brilliant play from the Great Britain loose forward. And I think this confirms the strategy that Wigan have adopted today, that of throwing the ball around, pulling the Warrington defence left to right, and hopeful the gaps will emerge. And 1-1 gap emerged at that point, and points are on the board.
The penalty before Wigan scored that try was actually for raking out, but it actually was kicked out, not pulled out by a hand.
A mistake from Cummins, though.
Back in play. Henry Paul coming in at every opportunity he can, the young 20-year-old Kiwi. This was the one trophy that eluded Wigan last season and the chances of the Grand Slam. Botica launching Skerritt, not very far. Good tackle by Paul Derbyshire. And Warrington really got to haul themselves back into this game very, very quickly. Just coming up, 11 minutes gone. Botica, and again Wigan not being put down in midfield. Davis knocked it out of the air nicely. But good following up by Frano Botica.
Significant, Ray, that Wigan aren't deploying Sean Edwards in the kicking game. Botica doing all the field kicking.
Well, you don't want to kick a ball with a hamstring injury, do you? But that looked a high tackle to me, not to penalise. Mark Foster a little bit aggrieved. Cullen to Mackie. Mackie now out to Maloney. Oh, good strong bullocking run by Maloney. Picked up by Rob Myler. Good entertaining play there by Warrington. Still on the attack. Justin Harris losing the ball. Swigamala rolling in the snow. And a knock for the big Kiwi. But play continuing. Edwards there with the cycling trunks under his shorts to add a little protection to that hamstring. Back to Connolly. Warrington, Steve, not really putting the man down in midfield, are they? Letting Wigan set up movements.
They are, and when they're getting the ball, Warrington, they're not using their tackles. They had a good advantage there. Here's another break.
Henry Paul, that was a good tackle by Jonathan Davis. He weighed up Paul, but Wigan quick play the ball back to Edwards. This time to Botica. Botica's got Skerritt. Good tackle. Harris right in there. Skerritt didn't like being put down by the teenager, appealing to the touch judge. Play on, said Mr. Cummins. And the tackling getting a little too fierce. Warrington penalised again. Paul Cullen. Again, Dennis Betts, the unfortunate victim.
Yeah, Betts takes the ball up here, and Cullen, who's a very strong tackler, just brings the right arm over there. Bit unfortunate, but we spoke about the discipline of Warrington, and in the game thus far, they've given about 5 or 6 penalties away already.
It's fallen down twice, the discipline there, because then they talk back to the referee and he's marched them another 10 metres.
Yes, they've certainly not get much change out of Mr. Cummins, but any tackle above the neck, a foul tackle, whether intentional or not, and we can see that in discipline there. 5 penalties conceded already. Botica, the points record holder at Central Park with 423 points, 184 goals in 92-93. And one wonders just what the impact will be when he leaves Central Park for the Auckland Warriors at the end of this season. Wigan will certainly need to look for another crack marksman. Here he is. No problem whatsoever. It's like shelling peas to the man, isn't it?
Yeah, he's prolific, this fellow with the boots, and you know, Warrington, they 15 minutes or so into the game and they're 10 points down. It's just you know, suicide at times with these penalties and a bit of sloppy play, and Wigan have a 10 points advantage already.
Well, you see what's happening. Wigan know that Warrington are very tough straight up the middle, and they're throwing the ball wide all the time.
So Wingamala now back to full fitness. The try scorer. 13 tries this season. Richard Duckingfield, as ever, down there on the sidelines. Any news?
Yes, Ray, we saw Vainga Twingamala receiving treatment from the Wigan physiotherapist a few minutes ago. He took a hefty bang in the ribs, but it's expected to be all right. There should be no trouble. The concern, obviously, is about Sean Edwards, who had intensive physiotherapy last week to remove a blood clot from round his hamstring injury. A special machine was used to exercise the muscle, but not the knee.
And there is Edwards. Not running a lot, but certainly distributing. He'll be easing himself into the game. But Warrington now with a chance. Paul Cullen. Barlow going for that line, but good defence by Wigan. Warrington piling the pressure on now. Mackie looking to move it wide, back to Shelford. But Wigan defence came out very, very quickly. They moved up that 10 metres. Mackie again. Tries himself. 5 metres now from this line. Good ball. Jonathan Davis loses that ball. It's picked up by Wingamala. He's bursting down this field. Gets it to Henry Paul. They're queuing up for the ball here. But that's a good tackle. Superb effort from Yestin Harris. But quick play the ball again. Connolly. No respite. Back to Robinson outside. Cuts inside Davis. It's Robinson toying with the opposition, and suddenly from defence Wigan on the attack. Edwards to Betts, he's got Paul, he's got Botica for the corner. Paul back to Botica. Oh, and Botica, he's in at the corner. Wigan really ripping this Warrington defence to shreds, driving down the middle, then moving it out wide. Little resistance at the moment. Typical Wigan tactics. Opening 20 minutes, all the points coming.
After some poor play by Warrington inside Wigan's 22, they moved the ball quick out here. Now Bonica probably could have scored himself the first time, but he offloads the Paul, backs up, and then gets over the line himself. And it was a good try from Wigan.
Yeah, super play from Wigan, from defence into attack. The silky skills and the handling. And as I said, this man Botica, he's determined, and to be honest, Forster doesn't offer much resistance.
And here we see from the overhead shot the long passes that Wigan put out, those 2 passes launching players on the outside, and Paul and Botica just getting over that line.
As I said before, Ray, they decided to play out wide. They keep moving that ball. I'm not sure that they've had one hit up straight off the ruck yet, Wigan. They just keep moving the ball 2-3 players wide. And Warrington had their chance inside Wigan's 22 and come up with a mistake.
3 goals from 3 attempts. And in his favourite position on the touchline. No one likes kicking better from the touchline than this man. He comes in right-footed. He strokes that ball again. Perfection. Straight between the posts. There have been some wonderful kickers in the history of rugby league. People like Jim Sullivan and Neil Fox. But surely this man reigns supreme. Frano Botica from the North Harbour Club there in Auckland, New Zealand. And Paul Derbyshire off the field. Gary Sanderson coming on. Warrington certainly in need of some fresh legs in defence, Terry.
Yes, the defence is being pulled all over the show, Ray, and you know, they're not completing the tackles. Wigan are unloading, and the tails are up. Their confidence is high, and they're looking unstoppable at this stage.
Wigan, of course, oozing confidence. Robinson coming in midfield. The Wigan coach Graham West likes to use both of these wingmen. Robinson on a fire in midfield. He believes in them working. And there is Gary Sanderson, very experienced player.
Let him up, come on!
Phil Clark. And Buttiker doing all the kicking in midfield, giving Sean Edwards a rest and certainly peppering this man Davis. Warrington needs some spark of inspiration from this Welsh genius. Forster. Rob Myler, well looked after by Jason Robinson. And that tells the story, Steve, doesn't it?
It does. Wigan's had all the possession, and you just notice that the last set of six they had went back to their safety-first football. Good hit-ups in the middle of the on the field, and then a kick downfield.
And copybook tackle from Clout there on Gary Tees. Bruce Maguire working hard now. Shelford. Good pass, but Gary Connolly read it well. Back to Mackie. And Davis. Sensed that Martin Offiah was moving up high. Well, Mr. Cummins said he went backwards, but it seemed to be debatable.
Yes, I thought that was a knock-on there, in my opinion, Ray. Warrington have got themselves a little bit of a foothold in the Wigan half, but they've got to complete these tackles.
I think it was a knock. I thought it went backwards. He was facing his own goal line when he played at it. No, that's going backwards.
Skerritts just inching over that 20-metre line. Edwards picked up by Tuingamala. Oh, that was good centre play. Just created the overlap for Robinson. Wigan just attempting to pin Warrington down here in this corner. Davis taking his time, nowhere really to go. So many Wigan defenders there, so many Wigan chasers. And Forster having to come in midfield. The Wyers pack getting back rather slowly. Gary Sanderson, first touch of the ball. Shelford, Cullen. This is better from Warrington. Tees. Oh, I thought he was going to get the pass to Greg Mackey then.
Small point, Ray, but Wigan are completing the tackles, whereas Warrington aren't. You know, the defence is on song and not giving the opposition any chance at all.
Davis hoping to set Warrington on attack. Robinson. And Skerritts getting through a lot of powerful work in this opening quarter. Edwards again, and Buttiker, those two in midfield causing the damage. Oh, superb slip pass to Connolly. Now then, Connolly puts that kick in for Offiah. The chase here, but the ball just beats Offiah. I doubt whether any other wingman could, but good thinking by Connolly. Just the kick, not executed as he would have liked.
Yeah, Buttiker created the space for Connolly, and a super kick just going into touch. But Offiah looked to have his running shoes on. He was closing down on that ball very quickly, Ray.
We've spoke about Warrington's defence. Their attack, they're not standing deep enough and they're running one out. They've got to stand that little bit deeper against a team like Wigan and run onto the ball.
Whatever the outcome of that kick, it certainly keeps the pressure on Warrington. Still trying to open this ball out, much to their credit, but can't hold it. Another handling error there by the youngster, Harris.
That's what we were talking about before. They're standing too flat and they're not running onto the ball. No one is moving forward with the football. They have to move forward before they can run onto it and pass the ball.
Warrington with the greater number of handling errors, and 5 handling errors in the opening 23 minutes. Quite considerable for a rugby league match, but certainly the ball been going from wing to wing. Here it is again. Buttiker using the dummy run, bringing Henry Paul in nicely on the outside. I think that ball was meant back to Buttiker, but here's Offiah. Trusting to his pace, cuts inside. Back to Jason Robinson. Good wing play there between the two of them. Henry Paul. And Wigan eager to move this ball around, eager to experiment. Hall and Edwards setting another attack in motion. Out to Twingamala here. Will he take them on? He does. Oh, he shrugs off 3 or 4 and he puts Connolly away. That was magnificent centre play by the big Kiwi. They couldn't put the man down. He took them on, powered at them, and then the magnificent slip pass to Connolly. Gary Connolly's 11th try, but I think that was Twingamala's creation.
You see here, Sean Edwards is looking for the long ball here, finds Twingamala. Now, as we spoke before, they're playing it out wide, Wigan. He's running at Greg Mackey, the smaller men. Now, Myler comes in, 3 players around Twingamala, offloads to Gary Connolly, who's come from the left side of the field to get around there and scored a good try.
Twingamala runs straight at the defence, super handoff like a cobra coming out there, and then the one-handed pass to the ever-alert Connolly. Fantastic play from Twingamala.
And good support play by Gary Connolly. That's why Wigan paid £250,000 for him from St Helens. And perhaps another exhibition of goal kicking from this man Botica. Always seems unflappable, this man. Always calm, always cool, always collected. Nothing seems to bother him. At his best from the touchline. No real great power in the kick, more accuracy and precision. He glides the ball between the uprights. And that's how he does it. Unbelievable performance from this man Botica, Terry.
Yes, he just puts another nail in the coffin each time with those 2 points, the penalties, and he's just got on top. Great play from Wigan, this.
And here we see the try, and it's the power of this man. Really a juggernaut, pounding down, shrugs off 3 men, but that pass, it was sweet.
He gets better every time you see him, Twingamala, doesn't he? He just keeps getting better and better, stronger and bigger and tougher.
A comment on the Wigan bench as Frano Botica was taking that kick. The comment was, these are the sickeners. He makes 4 into 6 every time.
He certainly does. And one mistake there from Cassidy. A rare mistake, Terry.
Yes, Wigan have controlled this first half of the game. They've got a tremendous platform now. The scoreline is substantial, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more exhilarating tries from this international backline of theirs.
You'll find there from that knock on that Maguire actually got around from the marker area and hit and stopped Hall from giving a good pass out there, and I think the marker may have got around a bit quick.
Here we see Mackey, Edwards knocking the ball out of his grasp. So at last a chance for Warrington. Can they keep hold of the ball in this sequence of 6? That's I spoke too soon, Terry.
Yes, Ray, that's just epitomises the first half for Warrington. Gary Tees, eye off the ball, looking at the defence, and Wigan are now secure possession. Although Mr. Cummins appears to have given a decision for offside, which a little strange, but there you go.
We can see they can hold it for more than 2 or 3 tackles.
It's Warrington then, on the attack again. Gary Tees. Switching that pass to Sanderson. Sean Edwards doing well to hold him up there until Clark and Cassidy came to the assistance. Warrington desperate for points now. It's Mackey with that long pass. He's got Bateman on the outside. Foster cutting in. Oh, a good effort. Very good effort there from the Welshman, Alan Bateman. Little grubber kick through. O'Fire to the rescue. Picks it up. Uses his pace to come away. But tackled behind the line. It'll be a dropout, but Martin O'Fire did well enough there. He saved the situation in the corner, just couldn't quite get over that line.
It's good play by Martin Afire here. He tries to get away from Maloney there, which he does. Runs across field, and Sanderson comes in with a great tackle. Liston Harris comes in to assist, and that's a goal line dropout.
Botica dropping out. A lengthy 1-2, picked up by Mackie. To Bateman. Alan Bateman, again, suffering from hamstring injury, but looking in tip-top condition at the moment. Kelly Shelford. Warrington having a better phase of play now. Bruce Maguire. Never been on the winning side in a final. Mackie. Phil Clark moving in very, very quickly. Francis Maloney not really moving that ball on quick enough. Just 10 minutes remaining in this first half now. Mackie trying to get things on the move. Shelford picked up by Rob Myler. Knocks off Robinson, but he can't knock off that man Swingamala. And he helps him up.
Yeah, he's a gentle giant, this fellow, Ray. I'd like him to pick me up if he knocked me in touch as well, I must say.
Certainly a fearsome competitor. Weston Samoa will be hoping that he plays for them in the World Cup. I think that's what he wants to do. And Henry Paul hoping to represent New Zealand in the World Cup. Botica loses it. Picked up by Connolly. Jason Robinson sensibly coming away from the acting half-back position there, allowing the Wigan forwards to regroup. Now they have groups. It's Mick Cassidy taking it away. This is where a forward has all the hard work to do. We see a lot of forwards running close to the opposition line, but this is where the work is done, near your own line. Bringing it away. Paul Aitchison warming up. Botica. Rob Myler at the second attempt.
Interesting point, Ray. A couple of moments ago, when Warrington were in attack, Phil Clark, the Wigan loose forward, came out like a rocket from the defence and effectively cut off the Warrington attack. And that was a tactic that Clark deployed particularly well against the Australians for Great Britain.
Paul Cullen. There is Phil Clark, probably with the England side at Ninian Park, Cardiff, next week against Wales in the first leg of the European Championships. Davis, the Welsh captain, in a fix at the moment, forced to kick. That was good chasing by Neil Cowie, the Wigan prop, and Henry Paul perfectly placed under that kick. Cassidy. Oh, that was a good tackle, and well picked up there by Bruce Maguire. Some fire from Maguire. Offside.
I think Sean Edwards is going to get penalised here because he was talking to Stuart Cummings about Maguire being offside. He's done the same again. It's a quick tap here, eh?
Warrington, 5 metres from the Wigan line. Looking for the first point, Sanderson. But I don't think driving at first receiver will breach this Wigan defence. And again, Phil Clark penalised by Mr Cummings, lying on at the tackle. But of course, Warrington can't go for a kick at goal. They could, but not really worth it. Back to Mackie. Mackie out wide there to Forster. And there's the first points on the board for Warrington. Incentive at last for those fans. Something for them to shout about. They may be trailing by a lot, 22-4, but nothing like a try just before half-time to give confidence. And Mark Foster, 20 this season, having his best season in 14 seasons.
Persistent paid off here for Warrington. Quick taps, and the ball-playing skills of Mackie and Shelford just pulled the defence in, created the space for Forster. But Wigan, a little bit of ill-discipline, a back-to-back few tackles, and resulted in the try.
Yeah, you'll see here, it's a good ball from Greg Mackie. Looks out wide, sooner Martin Afai coming off his wing, and Foster there. Foster's just too good and he puts the ball down.
Yes, many times this season we've seen Mark Foster squeeze in at the corner as a wingman scores tries, so he gains in confidence. And the champion goal kicker, Jonathan Davis. Only 55 so far this season, but of course he was out for 2 months with a nasty shoulder injury. Davis then from the touchline, can he match the immaculate Botica? No, he can't. So just the 4 points from Warrington's Foster, but at least an incentive for the Wires. 22-4 to Wigan.
Yeah, this just proves that even Wigan are not infallible. Some mistakes and 1 or 2 penalties, and you know, it's created the opportunity for Warrington to get a few points back and raise their hopes for the second half, perhaps.
And good passing out of the tackle there from Kelly Shelford. Oof, that's copybook tackling, the shoulder in, straight into the pit of the stomach. Good run. Paul Cullen, the Warrington second row, struggling to get up. Sean Edwards lying on at the tackle. Can Warrington grab another 4 or 6 points in this remaining 4 or 5 minutes? They need it badly. Another try would send them in with a chance.
Yes, it's put some life back in the Wires, that Ray, and you know, hopefully they can build on that and make a game of it the remainder of the game.
But it's this tackling, ferocious tackling from Wigan, especially the 2 centres, Connolly and Twingamala, and Phil Clark. Out to Bateman again then. Bateman, very, very fast, off the mark, doesn't get past Botica. Neither does Shelford. Phil Clark just content to hold the ball, play out the 6 tackles. Wigan in control. Oh, and brilliant dummy there by Hall. He's got Betts coming up inside him. Can't get there. Greg Mackey did very well there to cut down that pass to Dennis Betts. But Edwards, quick into the movement. Skerrett, what he likes doing best, running at people. Edwards. Oh, the pass was on there if there had been support for Clark on the 5th tackle. And Hall putting the grubber kick through.
Super break a few minutes ago, Ray, from Martin Hall. He threw a absolutely perfect dummy. The Warrington defence bought it and away he went.
Oh, and that's a good run by the youngster, Iestyn Harris. Former Oldham St Anne's lad. And Greg Mackey driving Warrington back now. Superb movement by Mackey on that outside, but well covered. Well covered by Dennis Betts, but Warrington on the attack. Looking confident. Kelly Shelford, he's got Maguire with him. Couldn't get the pass to him. Had to hold on. 5 metres from the Wigan line. Warrington again. Maloney. Long pass. Picked up superbly by Rob Myler. But it's the 5th tackle. The kick, possibly no. Well, Gary Tees thinking, should he kick, should he pass? He passes. Not a good one. So, Wigan escape, perhaps a little grubber kick would have been better over the line.
Yes, they could have put more pressure on, more focused, concerted pressure. But they're desperate to Warrington. They see a chance and they want to get back in the game, but to no avail.
You've got to play catch-up football when you're 22 points to 4 down, and mistakes like that occur when you're taking chances. Wigan don't have to take chances. They can come down the middle whenever they want, as they're doing now. Cassidy. Edwards. Henry Paul linking up well. Henry Paul again with a high kick. Oh, he's got the ball! Wonderful handling skills! Back to Twingamala, and he's racing in again! Oh, Twingamala has the try! He has a grin as wide as the Mersey Tunnel, but it was that man, Henry Paul, who did the damage. Well, it was like a juggling act with the ball. 14 tries for the big Twingamala, but it was his New Zealand teammate here, Henry Paul, who did the damage.
Great play by Henry Paul. It's some poor play by Warrington. No one competes the high kick there. Now some great juggling, never ever takes his eye off the ball, and then he's got time to regather, then have a look outside, finds Phil Clark straight away inside to Twingamala, not a person in, not a Warrington player in sight, and a try that was well deserved.
This guy Paul has got superb balance. He's very fluid in his movements. His eye was on the ball. 5 times he tapped the ball high, and Clark was there, and Twingamala for his second try.
Twingamala gratefully accepts the try, courtesy of Paul and Phil Clark. And Henry Paul setting up the chance here now for Botica to equal Lee Crook's record of 16 points in a final if he kicks this one. And he does. Botica enjoying himself in this first half with 16 points. Greatly appreciated by the Wigan fans, and I'm sure in the second half he'll be going on to a lot more. But Warrington, plenty to do. They can come back. They've got enough talent in the side. It's a case of confidence, Terry, isn't it?
Yes, Wigan got off to a fantastic start and a great win.
Warrington, everything to play for, but they've got to bottle this man up. Twingamala in the middle. Edwards passing well out wide. Phil Clark running at his best. But Warrington certainly have got to move the ball. They've got to play catch-up football, and that's when mistakes come. But plenty of talent in the side. Wigan will certainly not want them to get back in there. But a superb opening 40 minutes from this Wigan side. Warrington just the try from Foster. Wigan 2 from Twingamala, Botica and Connolly, and just look at those goals. 6 from the Kiwi, 28-4 and 40 minutes to go. It certainly was an extraordinary opening 40 minutes, Steve, and I sense that Wigan have a lot more in store for us. And here we see this kick from Henry Paul. He really should be, I think, taking bookings at the end of the North Pier at Blackpool with this. He's got a juggling act if ever there was. Always on the end of his fingertips, and then at the end, the precision pass to Clark that sets up for this man, the tank, to drive in. Twingamala. And Warrington, keen to come out, keen to compete. But I sense that Wigan were stunned last season at the end of that record, 33 points thrashing by Castleford. I think they want to wipe out that scoreline from the record books. They've got 40 minutes to do it. And I see Barry McDermott in there, the substitute, and the man who has done the damage, Frano Botica. 16 points to his credit already. But Warrington have plenty talent, Terry, in this side to come back. I mean, one purple patch from Davis, Shelford or Mackey, you know, and the game could turn.
Well, we have seen it on this season already. At Salford, they turned the game around from defeat into victory, but they need to get some points quickly, Ray. And Steve, how would you tackle this being a current coach?
Well, what you have to do, Warrington have to stand deeper in attack, have better ball control. They've been panicking a little bit with the football, especially when they got in Wigan's 22. And just have to take their time. If they take their time, they have got the players that can score tries, and an early try or two in this half will get them right back in.
One or two of the supporters having difficulty getting here because of the congestion and traffic conditions, but all 19,000 in here packed in at the moment, and there is the Wigan substitute, number 15, Barry McDermott. And it really is a luxury when you can take one Great Britain player off like Neil Cowie and add another Great Britain player to the side.
Yes, that's the strength and depth of the club. and you know, they bring in the juggernauts off the bench. It just adds to their, you know, the position in which this club are in. They're in the, you know, great shape.
Wigan snapping up that mistake. And switching it to the right straight and Kelvin Skerritt getting away into good gallop there down the right-hand side. Edwards to Twingamala. And Sean Edwards changing fashion there. He's got his red cycling shorts on for this second half. Back to Connolly. Connolly to a fire on the outside. Steps inside. Wriggling, squirming. Gets it back to Paul. But no try. Well, Edwards must have been having trouble with the previous shorts. Here he is now. Little grubber kick, all delicately placed. Warrington scuttling back. Rob Myler saves the day. No problems on the Wigan bench. Neil Cowie just having a welcome cup of tea and a rest.
Warrington assistant coach Clive Griffiths. Clive, it looks a lost cause. Is there any way back?
Well, anything's possible, you know, in a game of rugby league, and we've just got to get our own out in order. We feel we've left ourselves down badly in the first half there with too many mistakes.
Thanks, Clive.
Clive Griffiths talking of mistakes, and here is a mistake that Warrington will welcome. Robinson losing the ball. Solid tackle by Gary Tees. Forced it out of him. Warrington trying to bring Jonathan Davis. We haven't seen much of Davis in attack, have we? He hasn't been in the line there, Steve.
Well, he hasn't had the opportunity, as we're saying, that they've been standing too flat, they've been going one out, and that's not Jonathan's game. He needs to get the ball with plenty of room to move.
Well, Warrington certainly have got to move this ball out wide. They've got to let Myler and Forster have a run down those touchlines. Mackey scampering around in midfield. He finds a gap. Oh, it was a nice switch, but the ball once again put to the ground by Warrington's Harris. And how many times have we seen this, Terry?
Yeah, numerous occasions, Ray. Good play from Mackey here, but young Harris take his eye off the ball and spill the possession. Unfortunate that for Warrington.
I think it's when you look at the scoreline of 28-4, a desperation creeps in, doesn't it? And you tend to snatch at the ball.
Yes, you become overexcited. You feel as though you have to force the issue, force the play, and that itself brings in some you know, lack of concentration, dare I say.
Twingamala beats one man, beats two men. He's held there, but that was a good tackle. Back to Phil Clark. Henry Paul coming up into the line now with great adventure. Sean Edwards, as ever, at first receiver, trying to launch these forwards. Dennis Betts. When there were doubts over Sean Edwards, there was always the doubt whether he would miss a final like this. Here he is again, switching the play back to Kelvin Skerritt. Wigan cleverly applying the pressure points. Here, Skerritt driving in, keeping 2 or 3 Warrington forwards engaged. Oh, little side foot. Well read. Well read by Harris.
Warrington need to hang on the ball for 6 tackles. The previous 2 times they've had the ball this half, they've lost it on early tackles. They need to make Wigan defend. They need to make them make some tackles and tire them out a little bit.
Well, interference there, I think, but play on, says Mr. Cummins. And Shelford looking for the gaps. He can't find any. The tackling relentless from Wigan. Back to Davis. But the kick just aimlessly in midfield, picked up by Paul. So much pressure on this Warrington side, Terry. The mistakes are coming, aren't they?
Yes, the defence from Wigan is strong, but Warrington look a little bit disorganised, and I can't see much in it for them here.
And here is Jason Robinson. He's owning it up wide on this outside. The fire beats one man, beats two men, beats three men, four men, going for that line! Oh, he just can't get that ball down. A foot short, but that was a superb effort from a fire. Connolly picks up. Wigan have got men queuing up outside here. Dennis Betts, just get it. Good tackle. Excellent tackle by Cullen. And a penalty. No try. The crowd may roar, but a penalty. No standing up to play the ball. Kelvin Skerritt played the ball very, very quickly whilst he was on the floor. You have to stand up to play the ball. We'll just watch this. There he is, he's not up. Penalty to Warrington. And Mr. Cummins very, very firm on this 10-metre gap, insisting that Wigan get right back. Penalties very even at the moment. Sanderson desperately trying to force a way down this side. Harris. Offside again. This time against Dennis Betts and Connolly. So 2 penalties that have brought Warrington right down to this Wigan half now.
Neil Cowie of Wigan, this is just going absolutely according to plan, isn't it?
Well, there's not much planning involved. It's just we have played well, especially in the first half. Things have come off for us. We've tried things and they've come off, and Warrington have tried things and they haven't come off. And when Inga kicked the kick and it hit the post and went in, you think, is it going to be our day today?
He's unstoppable, isn't he, at times?
Yeah, he's kicking exceptionally well today. So it gives all the team confidence.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay.
Ray, you'll just see on that play there, it's a set play Warrington's done for a long time, and they run into each other. It just gets down to the way, it's just not their day.
Warrington looking for one flash of inspiration from one player here. Not that. Once again, a knock on, but it's the pressure that's being applied by Wigan. It's the strong defence, it's the quick movement that Wigan are putting here. See Shelford there looking in desperation, looking for men to offload that ball, and it goes to floor. Graham West with Joe Lydon looking very relaxed, as he might well be, with a scoreline of 28 points to 4. Mick Cassidy met with a crunching tackle by Bruce Maguire, and it's going to be a penalty, I'm afraid. Maguire saying that he couldn't get away quick enough, but he's got to get away. Mr. Cummins very insistent on these penalties here at the play of the ball. Here we see Cassidy. He gets up very quickly. Maguire taking his time. To Myler, but Warrington back on the attack. Harris looks for support. He finds Kelly Shelford. Here's Jonathan Davis on attack. Oh, just held there by Gary Connolly. But that's the first time we've seen the Welshman coming in the line. Shelford again. One man who's trying to get Warrington moving. This Kiwi loose forward. Kelly Shelford. Greg Mackey. Pushing the ball around. Maloney. Well held. Dennis Betts underneath the debris there. Moved in very, very quickly. Mackey. Little grubber kick. Oh, it's a dive for the ball, but it's a tap. Alan Bateman, forlorn grin on his face. Almost a chance, Terry.
Yeah, inventive kick here from Mackey, just trying to push it through for his Welsh colleague, but nothing much to come there. Good kick from Mackey, though, nice and low into the own goal area.
Here we see the kick through the legs of Skerritt. Beats the pair of them. Roars for a forward pass, but Barry McDermott ignores everything. He drives in. Wigan moving forward again with this pack. Phil Clark having an excellent game in midfield. This Great Britain loose forward. Eastern Suburbs bound. Australia at the end of this season. To Wingamala. On the 5th tackle. Edwards, delicate little kick for a fire, but he doesn't quite make it. Play on, says Mr. Cummins, but it's still on that fifth tackle. Out to Gary Connolly, putting the kick in, but once again it'll beat him. But that was again a good passage of play from Wigan. Mr. Cummins playing advantage, Wigan accepting it, but once again the strength and the force behind the kick proving too much.
Significant point, Steve. Sean Edwards is actually having a kicking game this half, which he didn't utilise in the first half. He's obviously gained in confidence.
Well, he has. Apparently his legs are 100% and he's going to get on with the game.
Sanderson trying to get Alan Bateman moving down that left touchline. Greg Mackey working hard in midfield. Once again, Shelford loses the ball, but well, Mr. Cummins having a second look at that. Many of the Warrington players felt that it went behind, especially number 6, Francis Maloney. But it's a scrum, and it's Wigan ball.
You see Maloney run across field. It's a pass under pressure. It definitely hit him in front there, Kelly Shelford. They're throwing passes that aren't on. They're still standing too flat. We're talking about Wigan coming up so quick. They're getting up to Warrington so quick because Warrington aren't giving themselves enough depth in attack.
Phil Clark picking up well. A set move, trying to launch Twiggamala down the middle there, but whatever it does, even if it doesn't get through, it pulls in the Warrington defenders. Then Wigan can move it out wide like this. Look for the gap then. Robinson. But Warrington more determined in this half in midfield, moving up quicker in defence. But still under pressure down that right-hand side. Edwards, he's got Dennis Betts with him. Wigan edging nearer to that try line. Sean Edwards again. Once more trying that little grubber kick, but Warrington have got that weighed up now. Warrington dropping a player back for that kick now, Terry.
Yes, they're wise to the tactic. They didn't need to deploy it the first half because Edwards wasn't putting those little kicks in. But they've got their act together in that respect in this half.
I think you'll probably find that Jonathan Davies has moved up in the centres and Niston Harris has moved back to fullback.
Barlow. That was a good run by Barlow and a good dummy. Manages to get that pass out to Harris. But Sean Edwards and Clark reading the situation well. Warrington showing more fire now, more adventure. Jonathan Davis puts the high one in. No great distance, but certainly got the height. Not forward.
Right, there's a bit of an experience from Houston Harris there. Warrington had a big line out. They had numbers on Wigan, and he took forever to play the football. If it was a quick play the ball, I'm sure Warrington could have spread the ball and maybe have come up with a lot of yardage or maybe scored a try.
Paul Derbyshire ready to return to the fray. Gary Sanderson ready for a rest. Martin O'Fire does well to keep the ball moving. Botica back to Twingamala. Oh, shrugs another one. Oh, beautiful pass. Did you see a pass like that? Jason Robinson cuts inside. Back to Edwards. Well, that pass certainly deserved more than that. Beautiful pass from Twingamala. But it's Wigan on the attack. Back to Dennis Betts. Offside against Gary Sanderson. Had to play the ball. Twingamala really enjoying himself out there, out wide. And are Wigan going to give Botica another shot at goal? No reason why they shouldn't. A chance to add more points. Paul Derbyshire eager to get into the battle. The rain that was coming down earlier relented now. There is Gary Sanderson due a welcome rest.
Number 15, Gary Sanderson.
Sanderson, I think it's interesting in view of the Cantona situation this week, was escorted to the touchline by the reserve referee David Campbell. Sensible precautions there. But I don't think any problems here. The fans really enjoying themselves, appreciating the rugby of both sides, and appreciating the kicking skills of this man. Frano Botica looking for 2 points that would take him to 18 points in the match, and Botica creates a new points record. He beats the 16 points of Lee Crooks and Derek Whitehead in a Regal Trophy final and takes Wigan out to 30 points to 4. More records possibly to fall, and the more the better for those Wigan fans. As Tuingamala comes off the field for a welcome rest, and I think Warrington will be glad to see him depart.
Yes, we've seen a super dimension to his game today. The pass that we saw just before, powering through, legs pumping, and a ball out of the back door, looking to the Jason Robinson. The vision was superb there.
I don't think he meant to pass that ball. I think he lost control of it, and then it was a bit of luck, I think.
Well, I'm not going to tell him, Steve. I don't know about you.
I'm not going to tell him either.
I think he lost control, but I think he also sensed someone was coming along, and then he put the final flick on. Well, whatever he did.
Sign of great teams when you got support all the time.
That's right. Mr. Cummins wanting a word with the skipper, Greg Mackey, here. Once again, it's for lying on at the tackle. He's just warned Greg Mackey that that's twice that has occurred. And a third time, we could see someone dispatched to the sin bin. Mackey, the fiery little skipper for Warrington. McDermott loses the ball.
It's the same player, Ray. It's the same player. Another infringement. It's not the same, but he's going to leave him on. It's been Bruce Maguire that was to play the ball before, and now he's just, you'll see here, he definitely pulls the ball out there and gets away with it. Well, he gets penalised, but he's still on the field.
McDermott again, seeking to restore himself in the front row of this Wigan side. Plenty of competition there with Cowie, Skerrett, O'Connor, and McDermott himself. Wigan coming forward again. Switching play to Phil Clark. Paul Aitchison there, number 14, on the field for Tuingamala. Botica. To Dennis Betts. Dennis Betts racing away. He's got Edwards. Looks slightly forward, but well tackled by Warrington defence. And Sean Edwards moving back as he can do to create space for himself. It's Wigan out wide again. O'Fire puts inside. Lost. Neil Cowie loses the ball. And Warrington, they've got to haul themselves back in this game. Kelvin Skerrett taking a rest. Possibly feeling the effects. Gary Tees. Davis looking for position to kick. Certainly gets some length, but easily picked up by Robinson. And Robinson always dangerous when he cuts in midfield. Skips, dances off that left foot. Back to Clark. Clark knows only one way, forward. Martin Hall. Wigan moving this ball around. Neil Cowie. Warrington, I think, realise that this is a vital period for them. The floodgates could open. They've got to tackle and tackle again. Sean Edwards cleverly flighting that ball in the air. Martin O'Fire's going up for it. But it's a penalty. Mr. Cummins judging that O'Fire tackled the man rather than the ball. We'll see ourselves here.
Sean Edwards puts the high kick up there. We can't actually see whether Martin O'Fire was in front of the kicker, but the referee said he was, so it's a penalty to Warrington.
Warrington having great difficulty in getting out of this half. Using the forwards like Bruce Maguire, and there we see the difficulties, Steve.
Yeah, it is possession. It's been all Wigan the game, and it's just continuing on. The advantage.
So Warrington's head and ball. Greg Mackey, number 7, to feed. Well, that never went in. But scrum halves are never really bothered whether it goes in or it doesn't go in, as long as they get it in their hands when it comes out. Some of the cleverest scrum halves were masters of deception at the scrums. Harris. Oh, and once again, the Wigan youngster Henry Paul picks up that mistake. Puts Wigan on the attack. Edwards again. He's got space on this side if he can launch Aitchison. Well held by Davis. Gary Connolly using Neil Cowie to suck in one or two of the Warrington forwards over on this left-hand side. Now Wigan using that run around with Botica. Switching play. Again, desperate tackling from Warrington. Wigan. McDermott. Oh, using every ounce of energy, driving in there, just a metre short. Back to Edwards. That's a clever kick for Sean Edwards, just going out. And Mr. Cummins adjudging that the ball was taken out of play by the Warrington defender, Rob Myler. So, a drop out beneath the posts. One or two of the Wyers players complaining to Mr. Cummins, but the referee, no hesitation, drop out. And here it is, Jonathan Davis. Roars of Wigan around the stadium.
Just as the crowd, Ray, rise to the occasion with nearly 20 minutes to go, it'll be interesting to see if Wigan get some more points. It's looking ominous at this stage.
All credit to Warrington, Steve. They really have contained Wigan in this half, haven't they?
They have. They've had to work very hard in defence, because when they've had the football, they've lost it on early tackles, but defensively, they've really lifted their game.
They have, in fact, Ray, completed the tackles and stopped Wigan passing in the tackle.
Plenty of courage, plenty of effort then from Warrington. The problem has been when they've been in possession and they've lost it. Martin Hall diving in! Just held up, and a knock-on to boot. Martin Hall has a grin of disbelief on his face. He thought it was a try, but the referee says not, and Mr. Cummins is the man who decides.
It's a bit hard to tell there whether it's a try or it wasn't, but that's the big thing was Stuart Cummings was right on the spot.
Yeah, Martin Hall, he scores lots of tries around this area. He drives in near the post there, and it looks like a try to me, that I must say.
Well, he certainly got the ball down, whether on the line, over the line, or just short. Difficult to say, but I don't think it matters at the moment. As Warrington come down to this end of the play. Nice, neat little kick from Greg Mackey. Paul's chasing, and Paul wins. So, Henry Paul getting back in defence to the rescue of Wigan from this kick by Greg Mackey. Well judged, just bouncing and bobbling over the line, and Henry Paul in desperation lunging at the ball. Greg Mackey. Jonathan Davis really needs to get himself into this game now and put some points on the board. And Gary Tees hobbling, a knock to the left leg. Maloney, here is Davis now! Oh, that shimmy! That's what I was talking about! That's the genius we need. Mackey, the short pass to Alan Bateman, he's held up! Just look at the defence there. Held up, dragged into the touch. Gallant effort from Alan Bateman. Good play from the Welshman. Mackie's short pass, he bursts on it at pace. But the ferocity of the cover, Henry Paul, Jason Robinson, Cowie's in there. And Martin Hall comes to the assistance. And as we feared, Gary Tees having to go off.
I got to disagree with that. I think they should have got a penalty there, because you've got to be held sooner or later. You just can't keep carrying people on forever and ever.
And number 15, Gary Sanderson, returning and replacing number 8,
Robinson.
Gary Tees.
And there is Gary Tees in some pain. And Gary Sanderson pressed back into action. Martin Hall having a good game, obviously hoping to be in the Welsh side for next week. Another Welshman, Harris, but not really going anywhere. Just runs into that tackle of Phil Clark.
Yes, Phil Clark's had a great game. Him and Edwards have bossed the show up the middle, and his defence is exemplary, Phil Clark.
Andy Bennett slipping on for Barlow, the hooker. There is Bennett, utility player for Warrington. I've seen him on the wing, the centre, and at hooker. Oh, and another knock on, but play on, picked up. Play on again, says Mr. Cummins. Back to Warrington. Alan Bateman having a good game in the left centre position there.
Yeah, strong player is Bateman. I just made the observation, Ray, that the mistakes are coming in the handling. The rain's coming down now, and it's getting rather greasy.
And Alan Bateman took a knock there when the Wigan player, I think it was Neil Cowie, kicked through at the play of the ball, took a knock to the head. But play continues. Greg Mackey again looking for more points. Maloney, short pass to Iestyn Harris, just 5 metres from the Wigan line. Jonathan Davis, Shelford, back to Maguire. Paul Derbyshire, he's got some space. Oh, he just can't get over on the 5th tackle. Tremendous effort from Warrington on this side. The long pass out here to Mark Foster. And at last, Mark Foster in for his 2nd try. Something for the Wires fans to shout about and dance in the rain about. 8 points to Warrington. And certainly, this Warrington side have not just given up hope. They've battled all the way, and they certainly deserve this try.
Yeah, you'll see this. The play the ball's a little bit slow. Wigan aren't getting off him there. Plays it back. A good long pass out to Foster. No one there. Gary Connolly was in field. The winger wasn't there, and they had plenty of room there.
Great pass from Shelford. Missed out 2 players there to find the ever-alert Foster, who just puts the ball down nice and tidy.
Mark Foster was on the transfer list at the beginning of this season, £20,000. Anyone could have bought him. He remained, and he's had a superb season. And my, haven't Warrington been grateful. The rain now simply pouring down here at the Sir Alfred McAlpine Stadium. Jonathan Davis attempts from the touchline. Oh, and a great kick. Anything Fanobotica can do, I can do, says the little Welshman. At last, some life, some hope in this Warrington side. Lot to do yet, but 30 points to 10 sounds a lot better.
You see here, Shelford, a long ball out there. There's no one out there. Connolly's inside. We don't know where the winger is. He's not inside anywhere. But Mark Foster is on the spot for a good try.
A result of good pressure from Warrington, controlling the possession and putting Wigan under some pressure, and came back with the points. Good play, Warrington.
10 minutes remaining. Warrington, 20 points to make up. I've seen them produce some barnstorming finishes in the past. I don't think anybody in this 19,636 crowd. Even Graham West there will take his eyes off this ball. Wigan, the odds-on favourites then to lift this Regal trophy, but Warrington producing a good finish. Back to Mackey. Paul Derbyshire playing some of their best rugby now, but Brian Johnson possibly not too happy at what went on in that first half. And here is Bruce Maguire. He's got support to Paul Cullen. Cullen going for the line himself. Tremendous dash there by the second row. Warrington keen to get that ball back into play. Oh, he's lost it. At the vital stages, that has been Warrington's undoing. Here we see Kelly Shelford looking to move the ball, put it to the floor.
He's done that twice today, Kelly Shelford, dropped the football and then hasn't even bothered to fall on the ball, and Wigan's got in possession.
Well, whatever the eventual result of this final, it's been a wonderful exhibition of skills and courage and tackling. And there we see, Terry, the handling errors, 10 from Warrington.
Yeah, they just lost it in the first half, handling-wise. It's about even Steven this half. And why is it, putting themselves back in the game with a spirited fight back here?
But here they are again. Sanderson. And it's Wigan looking tired now. One or two of the Wigan forwards having difficulty getting across this pitch. It's a maximum 75 yards inward. Maguire can't get his pass away. Well picked up by Hall. Greg Mackey. Francis Maloney really needed to be coming from depth, and that's an indication of the work that those two sides have put in. Mackey. That's a good kick. Jonathan Davis is chasing it, but Paul Aitchison, he's 6'3". He had the height on Davis. Cassidy. Oh, to Martin, a fire with some space and pace. Good tackle by Alan Bateman. Superb effort by the Welshman. But Wigan back on the attack. Into Hall. Hall beats one man. Back to a fire again. He's got one man to beat. He can't get away. Robinson. It's a forward pass. A superb effort from Wigan. But all credit to Warrington. They fought back to the end. The tacklers were put in, and Martin O'Fire says, goodness me, how didn't I score? Or words to that effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's Regal...
I think there might have been 2 or 3 forward passes in that play there.
For £250 and an engraved decanters of twin decanters from Wigan, number 13, Bill Clark.
The rain simply tippling down here under this stadium, but not on the fans, thanks to the design here. And no one leaving. Everyone, Warrington or Wigan fans, enjoying this match. Bennett getting himself into the action, and Phil Clark, the man of the match. Paul Cullen with another handling error. Would you disagree with Phil Clark as an ex-loose forward yourself, Terry?
No, Phil Clark, I commented in the first half just how important he was to this game, and he's had a superb game. A little bit unsung. He hasn't scored the tries like Tuigamala, but his work in the middle has been invaluable.
Gary Connolly proving difficult to put down.
Got a message here from Mrs. Callahan of Warrington. Mrs. Callahan, if you've lost your 2 little lads, the Biding Crane at the north end
Phil
of the
Clark.
ground,
And this, I think, is why he's taken the man of the match. Some powerful runs in midfield, some good support play and tackles. And I think this lad's not been far behind him. Cassidy had a good game.
Well, they grafted hard the pack, and it's no coincidence that the stars on the outside, the centres, the wingers get all the glory, but we're going to have a solid base, a platform in the middle, Steve.
They do. They keep moving forward all the time. They're making that yardage. They're pulling the defence in, making 2 or 3 men tackle them all the time, and their outside men have got plenty of room to move them.
And Tuigamala possibly wanting to try for a chance of a hat-trick. Neil Cowie content to come off.
And replacing number 10, Neil Cowie.
And a huge roar greets this big Kiwis entrance.
Can play anywhere, Henry Paul. Now he's going to loose forward. Started at fullback, went to the centres. He's played half back before. Stand off now. He's in a loose forward spot.
And there he is with a tackle already.
I think that's versatility, gentlemen.
Can't remember you playing fullback, Terry.
I can't either.
This is once again a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave your positions at the end of the match. Do not run on the pitch. There will be a lap of honour. Please keep that good reputation of rugby league fans everywhere and stay where you are. Thank you.
Warrington hoping to mount one last attack as Neil Cowie applies the ice pack. But I think we should pay tribute to both these sides. The fitness of these teams here now and the pace of this match. Really something to see. Oh, Botica slips out wide now then. He's only got Maguire to beat the prop forward. But magnificent effort there from Maguire. I talked about pace, I talked about fitness, and there is a prop forward in the 76 minutes of a final, chasing a half-back. But just 2 tackles gone in this sequence. Wigan looking for more points, and I think looking for the points record. McDermott, he's got pace outside, and there is McDermott! He goes in for the try. 34 points there. Wigan fans appreciate how hard it's been for them in this second half. The Warrington defence has worked overtime. McDermott was determined, he was going for that line, he wasn't going to move that ball out wide, and the try came.
You see Sean Edwards, a long pass out here, he finds Barry McDermott out in the centres. No wonder he had a big smile on his face walking back there. Breaks through a tackle and then scores a great try.
Very powerful player, this boy McDermott. Played in the JB tests against Australia. He just dropped the shoulder, pushed it away, and celebrated his game, his return to the team.
And I think when the Wigan directors and the players and the fans look at this try tonight, they'll realise that it was the one that wipes out that record 33 points against them last season that Castleford put past them. And their name is removed from the record books. It's now there with 34 points, Wigan holding the record in a Regal Trophy final. And Botica looking to add to his record already. Hoping to maintain his 100% record, but plenty of effort from those men in yellow and blue, and he does! Strikes it through those uprights. Frano Botica, the toast of Wigan. Warrington 10, Wigan 36.
Yeah, Edwards has bossed the show tremendously well, and he just finds McDermott out on the 22, a drop of the shoulder, the bump off, and a quick gallop through for a good try there.
It's just been the story of the day for Warrington, missed too many first-up tackles.
Certainly been a magnificent display from Wigan. They've only lost once this season in the Championship to Leeds. They'll no doubt be having thoughts already of the Grand Slam, all the trophies. And I think we should pay credit to the groundsman and the ground staff here at the McAlpine Stadium. In excellent condition and helped us to provide rugby of this quality. Wigan in possession again. Botica trying to side his way through again, trying to go around Alan Bateman. He does. Oh, and he's away down that right-hand side. He's got Phil Clark with him. Back inside to Botica, to Hall. This is magnificent rugby. To Wingamala. Throws off Davis. Still gets his pass out. Martin a fire. Out wide. A fire himself. Going for the corner. And the fire. He's over the line. It's a try, says Mr. on the score sheet, this man. He wants to top the try scored in sheets at the end of this season. 31 so far. 4 times the league's leading try scorer, and this man from Botica and Clark setting in motion another sweeping attacking movement. The support play absolutely superb. Trigamala, it looked to have died, but he flicked off Jonathan Davis, and then a fire took a hand in his team.
Mate, this is why he's so good, why most clubs would probably want Martin the Fire. He's just a great finisher, scores tries from anywhere and backs up superbly. He's just a superb athlete.
He's determined here, a Fire. He wants to try this afternoon, and he throws the dummy and drives hard. It's a little bit debatable if he is on his back, but his momentum just carries him over. Try.
Fair try.
Yes, he gets it down. Little Fire walking back to the accompaniment of cheers from the Wigan fans, boos from the Warrington fans, but it doesn't matter. It's 4 points. Botica with a difficult kick on the 20-metre line. 5 metres in. Oh, and he's missed it. There's shocks around the stadium. People can't believe that Botica has missed one, Steve.
He's human, Ray.
But there is the final score. A Fire jumping in the air. The Wigan fans delighted. And they win the one trophy that has eluded them last season. The Regal trophy on its way back to Central Park's trophy cabinet for a record 7th time. A magnificent performance, Terry.
Fantastic performance, Ray. They won it in the first half. They were absolutely magnificent, and there were stars like this in the camp. What else can they do? Well, Fire showing his joy and his glee at scoring the last try. That was the final nail in the coffin for Warrington. But Steve, an awesome performance.
It was. Wigan have got players all over the park that can run 50 and 60 metres and score tries, and that's what they've done today.
No grumbles from the Warrington players. Jonathan Davis just having a word with Botica and possibly saying, look, how do you kick goals like that? Well, I don't think anyone knows. But played in a good spirit. And Martin of Fire, wasn't he just determined to get his name on the score sheet at the end? It was determination. It was unlike many of his tries, but it was the determination that got him there. All credit to Warrington. They came back and gave a game in the second half. 2 tries from Mark Foster. But those points from Botica proving absolutely vital. Warrington fans still supporting their team, as well they should. Second defeat in the Regal Trophy final for Warrington by Wigan back in 1987 when they lost. The coach, Brian Johnson, was a player then. And now a coach.
I just spotted Martin of Fire there limping. It would be ironic if he's twisted his ankle doing the dance of joy.
Well, it would be. He does seem to have a problem there. He is flying out on Monday for the World Sevens, taking part for Great Britain in Sydney, along with a host of nations and new emerging rugby league nations. America are there, Canada, Fiji, Western Samoa, Tonga, and the traditional Australia, New Zealand, and Great Britain. And Wigan then, as they're accustomed to do, and Sean Edwards going up to receive the Regal Trophy from Mr. Lachlan of Imperial Tobacco, and Edwards lifting it high as he's accustomed to do. The 7th occasion Wigan have won this trophy. Dennis Betts, a 4th medal for Dennis Betts, a 3rd for Phil Clark, Kelvin Skerritts, so powerful, Neil Cowie, and the fireworks once again lighting up the sky, lighting up Wigan's win. Martin of Fire, happy at last with that try. Mick Cassidy worked so hard. Barry McDermott, wasn't he determined to get that try? And the youngsters enjoying themselves, and none more than that youngster, Henry Paul. And Frano Botica, the point-scoring hero of the hour. Swingamala, his block-busting runs caused the damage. I think Swingamala's taking that trophy home with him. A happy man, the big Western Samoan. And a round of applause for Warrington.
Congratulations, Phil. That went absolutely according to plan, did it?
We didn't expect to win by as many points as we did. Having said that, there was some great displays of individual and teamwork today. The tries, you know, were breathtaking at times, even to watch from in close support.
Just a word about a couple of players, Frano Botica again and Henry Paul.
Yeah, they're sensational. They've been like that for the last few weeks for us, and you know, they're fitting into the team plan quite well.
And the man standing alongside you here, he's unstoppable at times, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Vainga Twingamala, congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess you enjoyed that, really?
Well, I said my prayers this morning, and I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to complete my set of medals.
What is it when you see that line? You look just about unstoppable.
Well, I mean, it's all about being committed and taking your opportunities, and I was very fortunate out there that I had those opportunities to go out there and play the game I wanted to play.
Phil was saying it was a bigger win than you really expected. You expect to win by so many points?
Not really. I mean, we never went out there to underestimate the opposition. They played well, you know, I think they should be proud. But, you know, take nothing away from the boys. That our guys played very well, and it's a credit to the players.
The fitness levels are absolutely fantastic by the looks of it.
I'm trying. So it's a real honour to complete the medals. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sean. I guess there was speculation that you might not actually last the game with the leg injury.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I was at full pace at the end. I was going to come off because I sort of pulled it a little bit again, but it was worth it to it. I just think I was kind of just organising the team and just trying to pass on a bit of experience, really.
I was talking to the doctor before the game, and he said you're a complete professional. He couldn't keep you off.
Well, tell him thanks.
But I mean, it was a very emphatic victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, we played some champagne football in the first half, particularly. We had quite a few tries disallowed, but I don't think Warrington probably helped themselves with the amount of handling errors that they made. But, you know, we was there to capitalise on it.
And I was just saying, a couple of players who impress. Henry Paul's getting better all the time, isn't he?
Well, he is. He's fitting into the Wigan system now. You know, he's choosing his passes a little bit better, and as you say, he's improving with every game.
I mean, what a player. He played at full-back, he's played at stand-off, he can play at the pack as well.
Well, that's it, you know, he's worth his weight in gold.
Congratulations, Sean, well done.
Thank you very much, cheers.